What's up, JFW family? Welcome back to the Channel 23 podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to reach out and touch the fleet, to engage and inform everyone with all things JFW. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone. Good morning, JFW.
How you guys doing this morning?
It's a little slow this morning, Jam. Hump day, man. It's just like, it's a tough day so far, you know?
Man.
I wouldn't say slow are the words.
I was going to say there's a lot going on today.
Yeah, far from slow, just
Painful?
It seems to be stacked up. How's that?
yeah.
Well, I'm feeling great, so that's all that matters.
I need more than ankle-high boots this morning.
Maybe the Pledge of Allegiance will make you feel better, brother
I hope
Dave.
so.
Okay.
Hit it.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. As a reminder, anything you hear on today's podcast is our opinion.
You know
Not
what?
JFW's.
I was going to surprise you guys here because you asked if there was anything else. So, is it truly our expressed opinions, you guys, or are opinions driven by everybody else's opinions?
That's deep, Jim.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you ask, how's it going this morning? And Dave's like, he doesn't have high enough boots. You know, there's a lot going on, you know, and all of those things are us dealing with everybody else's opinions.
I think all opinions are formed based on the information that person gathers, and they do gather it from other people's opinions or facts. It could be a number of places.
Or plain out make the shit up, Dave.
Well, a lot of people do that too.
Yeah. What you don't know, a lot of people make up. They don't try and search out the facts.
Yeah, you do have to
They
find the
don't.
facts, right?
This is going to be great.
The proof.
I'm fact-based, man. Give me the facts. Don't bullshit it.
There we go.
Yep, the proof.
Have I mentioned I love working here? I was getting dressed this morning, and, you know, next thing I know, I have all these JFW things on. I'm like, hopefully I don't get fired today.
Oh, man. Where do you work?
In the past.
Not anymore, right?
Well, I just know it saved Jesse's job.
I was just
I
going
got
to
the
say,
hat,
it's
I had a
worked in
shirt,
the
I had
past.
my pullover. I'm like, well, Dave White's not going to fire me today.
Got the JFW gear on.
Yeah.
Swagged up.
So episode 42 did okay. Not really. It only had 236 downloads. We're at 14.2 thousand total downloads, but the cool thing is episode 41 had 501 downloads.
Wow.
It took 2 weeks, but 501 is a record. We don't have any other podcasts that hit 500.
That is
That's
outstanding.
great.
That's a round of applause.
Yeah, Linda and Ryan, thank you
huge.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to rock it.
Yeah,
Hey,
thanks
if you
both.
guys, if the audience too, if you want to give us some feedback why you guys enjoyed that one so much or what's going on, just any kind of feedback, just get a hold of Jam and let him know.
Right. The question is, was it Linda or Ryan?
Yeah, we'll have to have them back individually or something and see
Well,
how it works.
I'm going
one-
with the lack of me, Dave.
So I just wonder, though, so was it the podcast before was so great? So that's
And more
why everybody
people
listened? And then they didn't like Linda or Ryan, so then they didn't listen last week? I mean,
You could look at it any way you want.
yeah, I'd like to know. I wish we had some way to get those metrics or whatever to the analytics to figure it out. So it could have been my catchy title. There was a catchy title for that podcast. It's,
Well, maybe people wanted to see how you were dressed too, Jim. I heard you dressed up for that episode, so
Oh. You know what? Wednesday, I'm going to have casual.
Was that his dad joke, Jam? Not to interrupt.
I'm going to have casual Wednesdays from now on, because Wednesday's a pretty safe day for me to wear nicer clothes, because I
Yeah.
do a podcast, and probably not going to get dirty that day. So
I got a kick out of it. Rick Bowen, our MHC salesman, that was, he's been on the podcast before. Last Friday he was by, and I snickered because he had on his Hawaiian gear, and he said it was Hawaiian Day, but only him and the service manager knew that. So those were the only two guys in their Hawaiian garb. But Rick, you were looking good, buddy. I liked it. I was impressed.
Speaking of Rick Bowen, it's not actually about Rick Bowen, but I took Bella to Skate City Friday night, and there was a dude that looked like Rick Bowen skating his ass off. And it was just so funny to me because it's like the guy was good.
Yeah.
But he looked exactly like Rick. So
That is
I
funny.
need to know if Rick knows how to roller skate.
I just hear Skate City and I think, whoo!
It's a good time. My daughter loves it. So
Oh, I bet.
It is fun.
yeah. Are any of you guys organ donors?
I am, yes.
Yes.
Are you?
For real, I am
You
too.
do? Soup?
Absolutely.
Man, you guys have a lot of
I don't know if
guts.
anybody would want my organs, but I'm a donor.
You guys have a lot of guts.
Ba-da-ba.
Boom.
Oh man.
Go ahead, Jim. Save me.
Well, guys, he's already told me. I said my dad joke is terrible for today, and Jam goes, "What's new?" But well, that's not the joke. So we like to play games around our house, and card games and Scrabble and different stuff. And the other day, we left the Scramble game out when we went to bed, and our dog ate a whole box of the tiles from the Scrabble game. So we rushed him to the vet. No words yet.
That was good.
You just like it because it has dogs in it.
Yeah.
I wanted to interrupt him and be like, shocker, a dog did something wrong.
I thought you disengaged when you heard dog.
I was like, dude.
He had that little bubble above his head,
Yeah.
but nothing in it.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, I got an old one, and I sure hope I didn't say it last week because I had it on my sheet from last week and I used another one. That's how prepared I am.
If we're going for organs, we'll pass on your brain then, Dave. If
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
you can't remember last week.
No, I know I used another one, but I thought I might have mentioned two.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, what do you get when you cross an elephant and a rhinoceros?
That wouldn't be hell if I know, right?
Yes, it would. Boom.
Ah,
Hell if I know.
That's funny.
that's good.
Well, I think it's ironic you've got the animal thing going there because I just read an article that a turtle was mugged while he was crossing the road. And when the police showed up to ask him what happened, the turtle shakenly replied, "I don't know. It all happened so fast."
Oh, I need you guys to fill 60 seconds here for me.
Oh, my
Okay.
gosh.
60 seconds.
We could probably just be quiet and be better than those 4 dad jokes.
I'm going to say the dad jokes are slipping.
The audience is going to have to oh, my God, these guys need to pick up their game a little bit.
I'm ready.
Wow,
we
it's
need
a
word
fast
of-
60 seconds.
We need a moment of silence for the
Yeah.
death of the dad jokes.
Right?
I mentioned it once before. I was like, maybe we should do fun facts instead. And Brother Dave was like, absolutely not. We're doing dad jokes.
No fun for you.
New drivers. We got Robert Shaw started this week and Cirillo Galvin. Welcome, guys.
Yes,
Nice.
welcome,
Welcome
you
aboard.
guys.
And then celebrations. We got some cool celebrations this week. Danny Mercado told me he had a, what do they call it when they tell you what sex a baby is?
Induction? Or
No.
A reveal.
Oh.
They had a reveal. He's having a baby boy in November. So,
Oh,
Well, isn't somebody having a baby being induced Friday?
Friday?
yes, that would be Jaime Calderon, Jr.
Okay.
Junior Calderon.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Sorry
I
I,
didn't
messed
know
it up.
that.
But
Yeah.
yeah, congratulations to both of you.
Both of those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't believe what a thing those reveal parties have become.
Right.
Yeah. I'm definitely not this day and age.
Huh.
Well, it's kind of like a baby shower, I think, only a reveal shower, I guess. you know.
Yeah, I just like the surprise. I mean,
Right.
I didn't want to know either for any of my girls.
I knew what mine was going to be. I saw her.
That's kind of an inside joke.
that's almost a dad joke. That was awesome.
I did see a video. It was a reveal, like the I don't know what, some lady's getting in a car with the reveal balloons, and her kid pops the balloons.
Yeah. That's rough. Yeah.
Another big celebration. Rob White is engaged to Tara. He just got back from some time off, and he got engaged while he was out.
Nice.
Awesome. Congratulations,
Congratulations, Rob and
Way
Tara.
to
Now,
go to Rob.
I know two ladies that have their names spelled like that. One of them pronounces it Tara. One of them pronounces it Tara. I always think that's funny.
Yeah, so I asked Rob if it's Terah because he said Tara,
Uh-huh.
and I know a girl named Tara,
Uh-huh.
and I thought he said Tara, and then he's like, no, Tara. I'm like, okay.
So it is Tara, not Tara.
It is Tara.
See, it just depends on where you're from. That's a
Oh,
Midwestern
Yeah,
pronunciation.
he said Tara. I don't know.
Oh, it's like Kearney, Nebraska.
Or Carney.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Jim lives on Kearney
Or
Street.
Pueblo and Pueblo.
What about
Know somebody who
Buena
went to
Vi-
Cowpie High down there.
What about Buena Vista and Buena?
Exactly.
Yeah, I never-
Buena Vista.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
that place. I just call it BV.
Was it Yosemite or Yosemite?
Right?
T-Hone or T-John?
Oh boy. We're not. People are gonna sign off, guys.
Potato or potato. Tomato or tomato.
Uenta or Wenta?
Anniversaries.
Moving on.
We got
Well, I'm from Canada, eh?
Alan Martinez. Do you know he goes by Chili Dog?
I did yesterday when I saw the shirt.
I thought it was Aladdin.
He's got a lot of names, but
So wait a minute, does the shirt say I go by Chili Dog? Is that-
Has Chili Dog right on it.
I mean,
You can't miss it.
Jake Eatman gave him Aladdin, right? What's up, Jake? And then he wanted Chili Dog on his shirts this year, so he has a 2-year anniversary today.
Today.
Yeah,
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Chili Dog.
that one went real quick. Gerardo Sanchez, 2 years tomorrow.
Wow.
right.
Congratulations.
That's
Good
awesome,
job,
too.
guys.
Gerardo has a little bit of a history. He came and did some ride-alongs with
Ness?
Ness, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep. And then he got his CDL and he went out and got some years experience and gave us a call as soon as he got enough. So
Hang on a second. I'm falling apart here.
Uh-oh, 60 seconds of silence again. We got you, Jam. We'll fill in.
Chirp.
We're trying. We got to have some.
Gerardo's 1 year.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
Gerardo,
Sorry,
We'll
Gerardo.
talk to you next year, buddy.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Save this one for next year.
I tried
Right.
to get you an extra raise. Didn't work. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, that's funny.
Birthdays. Alex Reza had a birthday on 8/22. Happy birthday, Alex.
Yep.
Manny V, August 23rd.
Yesterday, yep.
Yep.
Turned 29.
And then Ray Davis turns 50 today.
Oh, shoot. Happy birthday, Ray.
And then Mike Bortz is tomorrow. So happy birthday, everybody.
Well, happy birthday tomorrow.
Happy
Early
birthday, everybody.
Mike.
Yeah, happy
Yeah.
birthday, you guys.
And then,
birthday.
then family birthday celebrations. Kiana, that's Ron Bugler's significant other. Her birthday's this Saturday. So
Happy birthday, Kiana.
Yeah, happy birthday, Kiana.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Shout outs. Kumbe wants to give Mike Bortz a shout out for helping him out at ARS and the Eisenhower Shed. He said it was very helpful and giving of his time and knowledge. Big thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that where to go, how to get in, how to get out up there at the shed. It's right off the highway, but also loading legal.
Yep.
Getting axle weights correct.
Mike
Way to
Bortz
go,
is,
Mike.
Mike
Using those
Bortz
gauges.
He's full of information.
Yeah.
He
So
is.
good job, Mike. And then JR wants to give a shout out to Junior Calderon for improving his safety score. Tell you something about Junior. He's fairly new. I think he's over 90 days, but he had a little bit of a struggle in the beginning. We talked. He fixed it. His safety score wasn't that great. JR talked to him. He fixed it. You know, so
That is awesome.
Yeah.
that's a
When-
guy. You know, you point something out to him, he listens, he does it, and he improves. So.
Yeah,
Right?
You can't beat that.
That is the perfect student, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Putting the cart away.
Yeah.
At the shopping center.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
And then Andrew Fettner wants to give a shout out to James Peacock. James Peacock has been helping him quit smoking, and he's down 75%. is what
Wow,
he said.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope it keeps working. I mean, that's what smoking's bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
And James also is trying to quit. He's down to, I think he had only 6 cigarettes yesterday.
Nice.
Yep.
That is
Wow,
awesome.
Dave.
And
I mean,
then
Yeah, James, but 6 cigarettes, that sounds like a lot. Right? I mean, yeah. I hope you get to quit, but
Yeah, it's just, I mean, that is such a tough thing to do. You know what I mean? I can't imagine how hard it is. And it's such an obtrusive habit. You know, and the reason I say that is I literally just ran to the podcast here from Yard 23, had a job meeting down there, and then actually ran into the electricians that are there plumbing the fuel tank. And the one electrician is just a constant smoker. I mean, he's just always got a cigarette in his hand or mouth or whatever. And he comes up to the pickup and he's talking and he just fills the pickup with smoke. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, you are killing me. But I am like hypersensitive to it. We grew up with it. You know, both mom and dad smoked growing up. And I just remember as a kid, those car rides just begging, can someone crack a window? Can someone crack a window? You know, you feel like you're just driving in this fog of smoke. And you're
it's that old
oh my God, hey, somebody pass me a cigarette.
Cheech and Chong movie where they all pull up and have to
Right.
roll down the window.
Right. Yeah. You're just like, oh my gosh.
I definitely remember the rides in the station wagon full of smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
So
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah. But smoking is tough. Nicotine's a tough addiction, and it makes me feel weak. You know, I announced on the podcast a while back I quit vaping, and I'm not actually fully quit anymore.
I sure don't see you do it much. You must sneak it in here and there. Is that when you go work out?
Well, I do vape on the way and on the way back.
Man, is that a Snickers and a Diet Coke?
In between sets, right?
In between sets.
The thing is, yeah, you don't see me do it. One, because it's embarrassing to me. It makes me feel weak, right? And then two, I don't keep it in my pocket anymore. I try not to, because then any chance I'm not right at my desk,
Smart.
Then I'm
Yeah.
vaping in the shop. I'm vaping
Yeah.
here. I'm vaping there. It's in the Jeep. I got to go outside and vape to do
Right.
it. And it's
You should just keep leaving them on your bumper.
yes.
I bet
Yeah.
2 or 3 times of that and you'd be done.
Well, 2 or 3 times is $600. And that hurts. So yeah, congrats guys for I wish you the best
Absolutely.
luck too.
Yeah,
James,
good luck, you guys.
Yeah.
James also helped him change a mud flap. So shout out James for being a team player.
Perfect, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's get on to the discussion part of things. Unless you guys got some shout outs.
Wow, we don't want dead air there, but do you have one, Dave? You started to say something.
Yeah, I mean, whether everybody knows it or not, we've got Pat, Scooby, and Kendrick just busting it down at Yard 23, moving dirt, and you know, we've thrown these guys in positions that aren't their occupation, and they're busting ass trying to get it done. You know, and we're thankful for the help. They're doing 100% bust ass work, doing the best they can, trying to get it done. So thank you guys for doing that. You know, today we had an extra driver, so we actually threw tofu in a truck in TNT down there just to move dirt on site. So
Nice.
we're hoping to get that job wrapped up here in the next week or so. Hopefully, we have a rental loader through this Friday. So we just want to get as much dirt moved as we can.
It's got to be looking different over there. I haven't been over there since the West Yard move.
Oh, it's big difference,
So
Jim.
it's-
Yeah, if you haven't been over since then. Yeah, and kind of just a shout out to everybody at that yard. You know,
Yeah, for
we're-
putting up with the mess.
yeah, kind of working through it.
Yeah,
We've
the
had
mechanics
two
and-
two horrific rains that we haven't. We usually don't get these this time of year.
Right.
You know, that hasn't helped anything, and trying to get it down, and then. You know, what do you think on the fuel tank, Dave? I know it's there. The electricians are
Oh
there.
man, knock on wood. I'm hoping for Friday. I would
Yeah.
love to have a load of fuel in it, start using it Friday. But
That'd be so cool.
we'll see.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I may run over there today just to take a peek.
Yeah, you need to. It's really changed.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Like Dave said, we've moved a lot of dirt.
Sweet. Very cool.
You wouldn't know it by looking in that hole, but I guess you'd have to see how it started.
Yeah,
right?
that hole was
Yeah.
giant, really.
It was. Scooby made a comment. It's deceiving because it's narrower at the bottom and wider at the top. He says, so you think you're really making progress, but you're not because of the hole's getting wider.
Yeah, probably when you're 3/4 up, Dave, you've put as much as you have that you need for the last quarter
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it gets so
yeah.
big.
Yeah, like I'm exaggerating. The bottom is only 90 feet wide when it was concrete.
Yeah.
But the top is 180 feet
Yeah,
wide.
it's
Right?
double.
I mean,
Double.
it's
Yeah.
those aren't the measurements, but yeah.
So you guys just digging a hole to bury the dirt?
Yes.
Cool.
Sounds a little weird, right?
That's funny. All right, so a couple drivers hit me up asking about Samsara. Just so everybody knows, not to say I'm not involved with Samsara, I won't help you with Samsara. JR is the boss of Samsara. He has taken over Samsara. That's his baby.
The boss.
And somebody asked me, like, hey, JR has turned on some new alerts. Well, JR hasn't turned on new alerts. Samsara has a new update. Last year, Samsara did like almost 300 updates to their program, right? So now distracted driving is broken down into two parts. One of them is called mobile phone usage, and it actually detects your phone in your hand, and that's if you're doing over 25 miles an hour and your phone is in your hand for 9 seconds. You get 2 beeps and a voice coach put the phone down, okay? There's even another update where we may not get the alert right away, but I don't know if that's actually rolled out yet. So it does detect the phone in your hand, but it's got to be in your hand 9 seconds. So, you know, I did pick up a truck from Kenworth yesterday. I had a phone on the mount, and I was playing with it on purpose. Apparently not for 9 seconds because it never went off. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's what that is.
That was part of the deal about Samsara was it continually grew.
Oh, yeah.
And they're always changing when the other camera didn't have those options or, wasn't set up to do that.
Yep,
So.
that's that.
Why do you do updates?
Why do they do updates?
Yeah, why does anyone do an update? Why not just leave it?
To get better.
There you go.
Yeah. We're all about that better life. So.
I'm surprised how many people have Samsara at their past jobs when I, talk to them in interviews and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with Samsara. They were at my last company.
You
It's pretty wide.
You ever hear anybody say they had SurfSight?
No.
Right. That's funny.
I've had, I think, only 2 people say they've had Bamboo.
Yeah.
A couple
Yeah.
people have said they've had Paycom,
I
too.
think somebody we interviewed said they were familiar with Bamboo at one point.
Yeah,
Dave, I
Alonzo
remember
had
that.
Bamboo at his last company. And Veronica was funny when we hired Veronica. Oh, yeah, my husband's company had Bamboo. I filled out all of his documents for him.
She still does that here.
Still does, yeah.
Yeah. So, getting to the cameras, and I said this last week, if you can't be coached, it's hard to get better, right?
Absolutely.
And Samsara is a coaching tool. So if you're not engaged with Samsara's coaching efforts, you're not getting better. JR brought it up to me that people are reviewing their Samsara coaching events, but they're not improving. So if you're doing something and JR sends you a video and you watch it and you review it and you don't change your behavior, it's kind of a waste of time. It's a waste of JFW's money on the camera too.
Yeah, does everybody understand why we're sending you the video, though, Jam? I mean, has that been talked about enough that's a review to look at your habits and change them? And if you're not getting any reviews, you're doing really well,
Right.
right?
Yeah, if you're not getting an event sent to you, you're doing great.
Yeah.
But if you're getting events and if you're getting following too close events every day and you're not backing off, then there's a problem.
Yeah, and I have to say, I guess, to brag on you guys is when I'm out running around town or doing something and you guys, there's 100 of you out there and you're seeing a lot, from the call-ins, from me just being out on the road, but our following distances, when I see our guys, nobody's following close that I ran into. And it was a problem all the time. Up Highway 85, on I-25.
Oh, it was horrible.
It was horrible. And
Wasn't it, Jim?
Yeah, and I don't see that anymore. And I think it's due to the cameras. I think it's a helpful reminder and shouldn't be looked at being dogged on all the time, or, oh, it's yelling at me. It's like, yeah, it's for your safety and other people's safety.
Yeah. The environment has changed so much over the past, I'll just say 10 years. I mean, you have to try to get better, and these cameras are making us better. They're making us safer. We've all heard Frank Azar, the bulldog or whatever, and we have to protect ourselves from that environment, and that's the way it is nowadays.
Yeah.
And these cameras are training us, they're coaching us, and in the end, they're going to make us safer and prevent outsiders like that from taking us out,
They're
taking us down.
Still protecting us, Dave, right?
Protecting all of us and our livelihoods.
Yeah, I'm glad you're not seeing it anymore, Jim. And I don't see it that much, but it's still happening. You know,
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot less.
Yeah.
You know, it's not everywhere you go. Oh, there we are following. too
Yeah, the
closely.
alerts are way less than they were 6 months ago.
I mean, here's the deal on the alerts, though, you guys. At highway speeds, we're supposed to be 4 seconds. We don't get an alert unless they're within 1.
Right.
I mean, we are
Right.
giving. It's like our show up on time policy, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you leave at 6:01, you weren't 1 minute late. You were an hour and 1 minute late. We are giving like this extraordinary grace.
Right.
You know, so I mean, I do agree with you, Jim. We used to see trucks. I mean, if we were out and two were together, you inevitably saw one that was
Yeah.
too close to the other, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, our pitted windshields, the damaged hoods, just the incidents we had have been lessened because of this. But back to, you know, we've talked about this before, and I'll just reiterate it. When we would have one of our safety team go ride with a person, that person always drove great,
Right.
right? They came down the hill at 45 miles an hour because they knew they had to, because the person was riding with them. They did this because they knew they had to, because the person was riding with them. They looked out the back window when they dumped because they knew they had to. You know, I mean, all of these things that, oh, I'm being judged right now. Well, now that camera is basically holding you to another level. And I guess that's, you know, people can look down on that when in actuality, it has made JFW a better place, a better business. We're looked at better by the four-wheelers on the road, you know, by people calling in, all of those things. We are better due to those cameras. We are.
Well, you used two words there, Dave. So when somebody was riding with them, you know, they think they're being judged,
Right.
right? And you know, however you want to look at the word judged or you know, reviewed,
Critiqued.
or critiqued, whatever,
Yeah.
right? Or you use the words accountable. Those
Yeah.
cameras hold us accountable.
Yes.
The thing is, and you touched upon it, accountable for what? For doing the right thing, for being better.
Yeah.
You know, I harp for putting the shopping cart away, for not following too close, for looking out the back window. That's the accountability.
Yeah.
It's not holding you accountable for, I don't know, being late or smoking a cigarette or,
Yeah.
you know, it's holding you accountable for using your cell phone.
Right.
You know,
Being safe.
smoking a cigarette,
Which is
danger-
illegal.
right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the accountability. You know, when you took my safety bonus. No,
No, you
Yeah.
didn't earn it.
didn't earn it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's up to you guys. You're in the driver's seat.
100%. The other thing that JR is telling me is he's sending events and guys aren't even logging in to watch them.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. I have to get a list of guys, and we're
Yeah,
just-
is that a culture problem, Jim?
it's a will problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a skill problem.
Yeah. But it's the culture. We don't have a culture. And are those guys aren't reviewing that? Do you think they're listening to the podcast?
Probably not. Yeah,
You know?
Well, do you think they care about getting better?
absolutely not.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. Those
Yeah,
are the
I mean,
things, like you mentioned, J.R. Calderon, you know, seeing his safety score and changing it.
Yep.
You know, those are rock stars.
Yep.
Those are the guys that are engaged. Those are the guys that care. They're not here to collect a check on Friday and, you know, if this job doesn't work out, they're on to the next one. They're not after being the best at their career.
It's energizing. People like Junior Calderon, it's energizing. And we have a lot of guys like that. When Junior walks into the office, I perk up. Because there's a guy that's engaged. He's doing his very best. Even if it's not perfect, he wants to make it better. I mean, and it's not like, oh my God, here comes Junior. It's like, hey, what's up, Junior? Like, it's almost invigorating to see the kid. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
What's the opposite of that?
Who makes you feel
Well,
that
I got-
way, Jim?
I got
you want names? Or?
No. What is the word? What's opposite
draining.
of energized?
Draining.
Just draining? Yeah.
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 De-energized.
Well, what's the book, you guys? An energy vampire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
They just suck the energy
Yep,
right
yep,
out of
the
you.
energy bus.
You know,
That was a good
and,
book.
And the thing, kind of funny about what we do, and you guys, you know, being on the leadership team, and as long as me and you've done it, Dave and Super Dave, is where a person comes in and you enjoy seeing them and talking to them, and you get information, but sooner or later we learn everything here. it gets around to us somehow.
Right.
And the even if it's an energy vampire, I'd rather have somebody come in with a bad attitude right off the bat than comes into the office, tells you what you want to hear, seems okay, but then when they're out on the road, it comes back to you that, oh, I'm looking for another job. I hate the mechanics.
Right.
You know, and you hear that from other people and like, I just
Dispatch screwed me.
Yeah, dispatch screwed me. I just
Why don't I get to good loads?
Yeah, I just talked to that person and everything seemed fine, and then they go behind your back, and it's a
two-faced.
cesspool of
Right.
bad.
Yeah.
Lies and deceit.
Yep. Speaking that, along those lines, and this driver's not a liar, he's not deceitful, there was nothing bad, but we had a driver that was a little unhappy about a couple things, told me he wanted to talk to me. Great, let's talk. Then he changed his mind. He's like, it's better if I don't say anything. Then he decided he wanted to talk again, and right in the beginning of the conversation, he says, I just want to make sure I'm not going to get in trouble for this, and my job's not on the line for speaking my mind. I'm like, not at all. I mean, you could curse at me right now, and we're going to walk out of here with a solution. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, Jim, would you rather have that to your face
absolutely.
or behind your back? Who wouldn't want it to discuss it?
Jim, it's like that driver score. If we're doing something wrong, someone needs to tell us.
Yeah.
Because we can't raise our driver score unless someone tells us and we're better.
And what are they doing by doing that? Are they not holding us accountable?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
We had a great conversation, and every once in a while, we'll drop the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
The driver had some legitimate gripes, and he was super respectful about it, and you know, he was more respectful than I was. You know what I mean? I mean, he was very careful with his words, and I'm like,
That's
I
awesome.
I was so glad that we talked, because the things that he brought up, we needed to know about.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and,
The thing there too, Jam, is that nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. They're not perfect. We're all a work in progress. So we have to
Human beings.
remember that every day when
Yeah.
we're interacting with others.
Yeah, and we have that. You know, we talk about the bad. It's like hitting the fence post. But I just had the other day that one of our team members, kind of the same way. Jam was upset, thought we were kind of ignoring them and doing some stuff, and they decided to do something about it, but they did it in the opposite way. They decided to engage more than what they'd been being engaged, and found out that, you know, it was not more them, but it was like, oh, I can change this, I can fix this.
Right.
Asked to be reviewed, and got a review. And I mean, it was just, I think the way the situation turned out, it's on my side of it, was fantastic. And I
like
hope
that.
the same thing for that person.
Yep. So I encourage you guys, if you have something you want to talk about, please bring it to our attention.
But do it respectively.
Yeah.
Respectably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could be a little passionate too. That's okay.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, if you want solutions, respect will get you a lot further than disrespect.
I guess it's the angry text. We talked about it a few weeks ago. It's the angry phone call. And you know, I can bite the dog right on the ear here. You know, it's like the conversations we have about the hardwires.
Right.
Man, are they, you know, they're brutal in how they treat dispatch.
Yep.
And, you know, it sounds like a rough thing, but if it is that bad, find success elsewhere.
Yep.
You know, it's just not.
You weren't hired for one run here.
No.
You were not hired for one run.
No.
Nowhere in our contract, nowhere in our creed, nowhere in our conversations, nowhere when Dave hires you, nowhere were you hired for one run here.
You didn't even know that run existed when we hired you.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then to
But now
think,
it's mine. Why aren't I on it?
you know, and then to think it's theirs, and then like you brought up, Jim, you know, then if it changes, which was out of our control on a couple of the hauls, then they want to be put on somebody else's haul.
Right.
That you have to take that person off, which is not really their haul.
Right.
You know, and then we talked about it with Ryan. Maybe that's the success that Ryan and Linda had, is the truthful of it. Our top guys are not hardwired.
Right?
You know, and nobody sees those numbers. But
Yeah.
you're either stealing money from me, or is that plant closed, or why did you do that to me?
Why am I on this?
I'm losing.
Yeah,
I'm losing.
I'm losing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm losing. Yeah, and oh, I can't run that plant, but you want, you know, 99 other people to go run that plant.
Well, they are better than those people, Jim.
Right. I mean, it's the truth. Let's not share, or let's not be a team. Let's just be unaccountable.
Individuals.
Yeah. Let's be unhappy. Yeah, some people bring you lemon juice. Some people bring lemons.
Man, I've been drinking lemon juice and apple cider
Vinegar?
vinegar. Oh my,
Yeah.
with a little cayenne pepper in it. I know I just digressed there, but
I love lemons. I love lemon meringue pie. I love lemon pound cake. I don't know.
That's
love
a little
lemon.
different than what Jam just mentioned.
I just had to throw it out there.
Yeah. I like key lime pie too, but that ain't what Jam swallowed. What he just mentioned, I'm like, why would anyone drink that?
Fire up the metabolism.
gut health.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be good for your gut and have
Jam,
some,
I hope you live to 1,000.
I don't want to live to 1,000.
Yeah.
No.
What do you want to live to?
I'd like to live until
The end of time?
no. I probably want to live. I mean, I'm not going to put a number on it. I don't want to be 100 years old if I can't take care of myself.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
I mean,
the key.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll live as long
I
as
don't.
I can.
I know my
healthy.
wife and my daughter want me to live a really long time, so I'm not trying to be like, yeah, 75, I'm good, But if I'm still, strong and healthy, and I don't need people to take me to the store, and I don't know. To me, it's like I see it all the time with animals. We wait too long to put them down. You know what I mean? I don't want to live past where I should have, if that makes sense.
Wow, we went from lemon cake or lemon pie to dying. How do we?
Right?
Yeah.
Now we're to dogs.
How do we
Yeah.
just?
Always comes back to dogs. Jam
then-
at Christmas.
And if what I believe is true about dying, like it's gonna be cool.
It's good.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law just turned 90 on Sunday, and so we had a big birthday party. And so Saturday I was working, and Junior Calderon was doing a mud flap, so I was over there talking to him and telling him what I'm doing this weekend, going to a 90-year-old birthday party and stuff. So we started talking about age. He's like, well, how long do you want to live? I said, I'd be happy if I could see 80, but a healthy 80, where I could get around and walk and all of that, right? And he's like, yeah, boy, because keep in mind, he's a young guy, right? And he's like, I'd probably be happy with 70. And I'm like, dude, I'm 61.
He just knocked you off 9 years from
I
now.
was like, God, 70.
You're
I
like,
sure as hell hope I see
live longer
70.
than that.
Can't see that happening, huh?
Yeah.
I guess I always want to be able to protect my girls. If they're protecting me, I think it's time to go.
Yeah. I had, if I can explain it right, Jam, I talked about it several times on the podcast, but the high school reunion, and I had some good friends come back, and the one gentleman is really successful, and he a lot of luck and a lot of planning, but he worked for an oil company.
And a lot of work, right?
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
he was the CPA for the company.
Yeah.
And did a lot of investing, a lot of working, a lot of praying. But the company he worked for made it big on a couple oil wells, and so he retired. I don't know, in his 40s, if I'm late 50s, and good for him. He's a
Right.
I
great
would
guy.
say
But
30s.
yeah.
I mean, he's been retired for 15 years at least.
Yeah, close
Yeah.
to that, Dave.
Yeah, anyway.
His wife and stuff and good. And, we talk about our 401k and we talk about retirement. We talk about being able to take care of ourselves, our family, our kids and stuff. And he's got enough money. He doesn't work, right? So we all worry about having enough money to retire, to live. He's worrying about living long enough
To spend his money.
to spend his money. When does the money run out?
Right.
Because if he doesn't plan it right, he runs out of money, and he's got life left.
Right.
So it is still a problem, if I explained that right. It's still a problem for him.
I would like to try his track.
Yeah.
Well, I would too. I'm not, yeah. I mean,
His problem doesn't sound that tough.
a great
I live
problem.
pretty frugal. Yeah.
next Friday I ran out. Son of a.
Golly.
I could only spend 10 grand this month.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And not work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it couldn't happen to a better couple.
Right.
It's he gives, and I know we even have a friend that got in trouble and she's just out of high school and spent a lot of years in jail. And he took, sent money, sent cigarettes, helped him now that he's out of jail, that kind of stuff. Always good people. It's
Sounds like it.
yeah,
Yep.
good stuff.
Another thing on my list to discuss is everybody, please check your dispatches. We just get into a habit, especially if you're one of those hardwire guys or girls. We get in the habit of getting in our truck and just running to the pit. But when there's changes, that really jams dispatch up. So make sure you're checking your dispatches in the morning before you go.
Yeah, that's accountability too, Jim. I mean, there's a lot to be said about that, I guess. I don't know. Like to talk a little more about it, but it's just check your dispatch.
Yeah, and I believe it's an honest mistake. I mean, we just get in. I'm a creature of habit.
Oh yeah.
JR grabbed the laptop this morning because he has orientation, right? Well, he knows on Wednesdays we have the podcast. I had to go over there and arm wrestle him for the laptop. It's an honest mistake.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, but we just get into a habit of this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we talked about that in the one podcast where we used to haul out to U.S. Pipe, where I told you guys where it was mostly sand, and then the guy switches up to rock. Or,
Right.
when me and Dave drove a lot, he was at the West plant. I think it had something to do with Janet, but we'll skip over that. But anyway,
What?
Whoa. We want details.
right? I ran Chambers all the time, or Plant 12. It was just we were split up, so we were running different plants, and once in a while you'd have to change. Hey, come on, bring a load over to the west or something, and nope, I would turn and get on 270 and, get out to 70 or something and go, shit, I was supposed to go to the West plant, You're a creature's of habit.
Yeah,
It's
that's happened to everybody. I
Right,
guarantee
right,
it.
Super Dave, you're just like, damn it, that's not where I'm supposed to be at,
Like, you guys remember Captain Ron. I doubt he listens to any of the podcasts, but, he worked for Maroney for years and then finished his career here with us for probably the last 10 or
15, I
Was
think.
it 15
yeah.
years?
Yep,
Wow,
15.
Captain Ron. Thank you, buddy. Anyway, he would run the old Ready Mixed Plant 1, the one down there on Franklin, or not Franklin, oh my gosh, on Washington.
Ringsby
yeah,
Court.
Ringsby in Washington, right, by Pepsi. And you would dump in the same bin as the sand bin, right? Mm-hmm. So you would back up and you needed to know you had squeegee or pea gravel on because you were dumping in the sand bin and you had to change the gate.
Yeah. Right.
So it went in the right silo, but you were dumping in the same grizzly that you just dumped in for a day and a half or the previous 6 loads or whatever. And Captain Ron, I don't know, he screwed that up once, twice when he
Yeah.
was at Maroney. Pretty soon Maroney made him put a glove on. And he took a Sharpie on the back of the glove that said squeegee or pea gravel. And he would put one glove on and deliver that load.
Wow, that's so
And there
funny.
was no way he could screw it up after that. You know
That's
what I mean?
so funny.
He tried the notes on the dash and stickies, and he's like, nope, you put that glove on, you can't screw that up.
I don't miss Plant 1, that's for sure. That
Right.
sand bin was a bitch.
It was tough,
was.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of mirrors.
Yeah, lots
It's
of
nice
mirrors.
getting it. It's nice getting that whole load in the grate, though.
Right?
It's just a good feeling. No sweeping off. Everything's just in the grizzly.
Yep.
What I mean?
Yeah.
I did like that, but
And just hitting that little ramp on the first shot.
Yeah.
Right?
That
Yeah.
really was a good feeling.
Yeah, you had 6 inches on each side, huh?
Yep.
how much trust did they have for us to switch the bins, though? But I can't-
there's something, if I'm not harping on it, how about when they just close a plant?
Yeah.
What does that hardwire guy do?
Right. Yeah.
In this economy, they'd never close a plant.
Right? Right.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the hardwire guys' things. Like, I want to go run my hardwire. Go ahead. they're not taking material. We don't have that. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
But getting back to creatures of habit, I can't tell you how many times I went to drive to the West Yard, and then next thing I know, I'm on, Boulder Turnpike.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because I just go that way home
Right.
every day,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, shit, I missed 76. Shit,
Yeah.
I missed 76 over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, that's that, like I mentioned to you, because you said you went horseback riding, that barn-soured horse. I crossed 76, I'm headed home.
yeah.
It's just like, don't put that sign in front of me. It messes me up, Jim.
Yeah, that's the story exactly that I told. Is we went horseback riding, and the guide stopped when we got to a road because there was a sign in the road that was in the wrong spot, and the horses don't like when things change. So
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And there's a point there too, about the hard wires and stuff like that too, creatures of habit, because we don't like things when they change. You know, I love to tease Super Dave. You ate those damn Cheerios for 30 years, buddy. and
More than that.
right? And you don't like the change. You like that, you know? I
If it
like
ain't broke, don't fix it.
right? I like Colin Chambers. But the thing is sometimes change is inevitable.
Yeah.
And it
You gotta
has to be
able to
done.
deal with it.
And to complain about it or
And
be
to
ups-
actually enjoy it, right?
Yeah, embrace it,
Embrace
you know? And we talk about it all the time. You just talked about it. Why do you do an update, Dave? Because it's better. Changes are better, you know, in some instances. And sometimes
I
there's
tried
always
Honey Nut Cheerios once. Too sweet.
Was it lemon? We need
No,
to get
it
you
wasn't.
lemon.
If I would have liked lemon Cheerios if they
lemon
made
nut
them.
Cheerios.
Lemon honey nut.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm trying not to go political, but you're talking about all this change and how we should embrace it and stuff. And I'm like, I'm sitting here chewing on my tongue, man. I'm worried I got like some blood running down my lip from chewing on it so hard. Like,
but but Dave, that's change that I don't think is looking down the road. When we make a change, Dave, it's usually trying to look what's next.
Yeah.
You know, do they want the environment to be better? Absolutely. Let's make electric vehicles. If that is truly better. I don't even know if that is. But there's no infrastructure to charge them.
right.
You know, we haven't had any pay increases to be able to afford that. That's the thing. They don't. What is the next step? When we try to get a truck, we look at the Jake brakes, you know, engine brakes. They're just plain better. You know what I mean? That's the end result. But they're so good, you have to drive the truck differently because they'll skid the tires.
Sure.
You know, that's the downside. But look at how much good we have. You know, I wanted to touch on one of my notes, Dave, and jump in here with me is, you know, and I'm sure you guys are tired of it too. We purposely bought new trucks 3 years ago to have better equipment. We, you know, update, better fuel mileage, better engines, less part bills, all sorts of stuff. They're going to be turning 3 years old, basically.
They're 3.
Yeah, they're 3. Yeah, from
Wow,
when we
that's
got them.
Crazy.
Yeah, 20, 21, 22.
Yeah,
right?
March 3 years ago. They're 3.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Well, I am so tired, probably along with all the drivers, of the frickin' codes, you
Right.
guys.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that many when they were brand new, but we're getting more and more codes. And that's, you know, there's political, Dave. Our government forced us to do things to make things better without it being fully looked at and what it'll cause. Right now, we have 5 trucks down.
Yeah.
And COVID's charged parts things. So I guess if you're unhappy your truck's down or you're tired of the codes and frustrated, so are we, you guys.
Yeah, us
I mean,
too.
we really want to for a solution, we want you to stop, turn off the truck and restart it so your transmission works.
Yeah.
Is that just effed
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah, we have
You
2
know?
trucks that need shift stocks, and the shift stocks are on national back order.
Yeah.
Right? So we're forced. We have 2 choices. Don't ever run the truck and wonder when we'll get shift stock parts.
Yeah,
right?
which is November maybe, right, you guys? That's what we were told.
I didn't even have a date,
No?
Jim. It was
Wow.
national back order. There is no, you might get it.
I
This
made-
is when we're looking at time frame.
So
So,
I made October up, I guess.
I mean, I never heard a date. So,
Got it.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and Jim, I'm sorry on the dates. It is 2.5 years. I'm sorry. It was 2 years, March, not 3.
yeah,
Sorry.
but we're struggling already.
Yeah.
You know, with
Yeah,
with
we're
little
barely,
things.
We're barely halfway through.
Yeah. We found wire shorts. We found clips that are just dirty, not together. You know, they are the sensors are so sensitive that they give you a D rate when all they need to be is cleaned or blown out or checked or
Yeah.
you know, and like I heard Super Dave talking with somebody on the phone this morning. You know, so you have an emission problem, but it just put a 25% D rate and you got 4 hours to get someplace. Who set that up?
Right?
Who did that? Because you can't finish the day. You can't get someplace in 4 hours. You just have to quit in the middle of the day if you started at 8.
I told him, don't stop and don't shut the truck off.
Right.
Just get
And-
unloaded and hurry back.
And I listened to you, Super Dave, and I thought that's the most bullshit I have ever heard. I was disappointed in you having to explain to the driver that way. disappointed in our equipment and us that's what we're having to do, Dave.
Yeah.
It was not a feel good.
No, but I did feel it was important to let them know.
We have to.
Yeah.
That's what. How are we going to get? We got to talk. Got to work through it. Got to make it better. Got to struggle, and we're struggling with you guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's a shame, and the reason is too because he even said that on the phone. How come you can't just bypass it so you can finish the run?
Oh my God.
Or why do they shut it down to 5 miles an hour so you're stranded somewhere?
Right.
Well, I said because everybody and their brother, everybody driving a truck in the whole country is just going to bypass.
Yep.
So
yeah, we'll abuse it. That's
Yep.
our thing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's our governmental emissions duty.
Yep.
It's just crazy too. I mean, getting back to the national back order, but it's just crazy how I guess COVID kind of triggered all that. Where with the supply chain and the workforce and just so many factors. But we should have had all of our new trucks by now. I'm assuming Pete's included. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, this time last year almost, Jim.
a year ago.
We should have had
A year
those
ago.
15 trucks in October last
Right,
year.
and we'd probably be looking to replace more now. Like it's just crazy. And then, Brother Dave, you told me the other day. I mean, trucks are up about $50,000 each from when we first bought the new trucks, the 40
Yes.
Kenworths.
Flashback 2.5 years, like we're talking about. We just got our both Kenworth, well, actually all three. Kenworth, Peterbilt, and Freightliner have all come to me last week and this week, said, hey, we've got our allocations for next year. How many trucks are you going to need?
All of them.
Oh, and by the way, we've had a price increase for next year. I'm like, on top of the last 3 this year? And they said, yes, it's going to be a $20,000 to $30,000 increase per truck for next year. New day cabs will be over $200,000 next year.
Wow.
That's a $70,000 increase
Wow.
from 2.5 years ago. So what are we, 28 months, 29 months in
Yeah.
from those trucks? A $70,000 increase.
Wow.
It can't happen. I mean, it can't happen. It's ridiculous, And again, everything goes back to politics for me because I'm just in that arena now. Unfortunately, I don't want to be. We're forced in it. We are forced in it if we're going to do business in this climate, literally in this
Yeah.
climate, right?
Then you go right back, Dave. Who pays for that in the end?
We do.
The consumer.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
when you
when
go
I say
to buy,
we, that's what I mean. The consumer. Yeah.
Buy a thing off the shelf.
Yeah, we just had a friend, and I've been doing it at all of Sam's swim meets, because they all know that we're in the trucking industry, and they're like, "Oh, how's fuel affecting you? How are you surviving with fuel?" And Jim and I just had a friend stop by yesterday. How are you surviving with the fuel? How's that treating you? And we look right at him and go, "We just pass it on." If we were to have absorbed that fuel, you guys, we would have been out of business January 1st this year.
Right.
Out of business. Done. There's no way we could have absorbed an ounce of that fuel. So when we pass it on, just like you said, Dave, the consumer pays. We've talked about it so many times. That's everything you buy at a grocery store. That's everything you buy at the mall. That's if you go anywhere, if you stop and buy aspirin at a gas station, what brought it? How did that get there?
You bet.
Damn right, it came on a truck
Or several trucks.
Even a delivery van has gas, right? They were upcharged for that. There is no one that absorbed. If there's a company out there that absorbed any of those fuel costs, they're out of business.
Right.
They've closed.
And there are companies that couldn't hang and they
Yeah.
are closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you look at that 70 grand per truck. You know what I mean? I mean, how do we absorb that? I mean, there's got to be rate increases. There's got to be
Right.
Again, I mean, it's just going to get passed on to the end user.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
craziness.
Yeah.
What else you guys got?
I thought we had some stuff in there on overweight permits, Jim.
Okay.
So it's my understanding we had to pull about 5 of them last week.
Yeah, I didn't put that in there. You're right. Yep.
Is that
Yep.
too negative to talk about?
No, absolutely not. I just forgot to put it in. I'm slacking, guys. I'm every week I am less prepared with this outline than the week before. I mean,
You know what it is, Jim?
what?
It's the apple cider vinegar. The lemons, buddy.
It's draining you, man. I'm glad your gut's healthy.
Yeah, your gut's great, but
Got anything for mind sharpness?
Wow. All right.
I could use some.
too late.
Man, just keep them coming. Just keep them coming. Yeah, I think this is the latest I ever sent the outline out. I sent it out an hour before the podcast. I'm like, oh, we should probably make and send the outline. Here you go.
We're not helping you, Jan.
Yeah,
It's been a
for
busy
sure.
couple of weeks. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not giving you any ideas and stuff. But if we're going to talk about the overweight permits, I would like to mention something because I think "I" is an important word, or is that a letter?
Both.
Both.
I think so.
right? So, where do you guys think that I can use those permits?
Well, I know where you can't.
Well, since you're saying I so much, I'd imagine you can only use them on the interstate.
Is I the same as me?
Not on the interstate, Dave. Not on I-270, I-25, I-225.
Touche.
Yeah. And the one where the guys are getting trouble is I-76. So
Does that start with I?
it does. But they're running, yeah. So basically, you're coming down Highway 85, you're good. And then you got to jump on I-76 for a couple miles.
Right.
Well,
That
those,
doesn't count.
those couple
It's
miles.
only a couple miles.
Still on the high road.
Yep.
So they just didn't think they got caught. Actually, I need to run a heavy report today. I was supposed to do it yesterday. So I will see if we improve from last week.
Yeah, so ultimately, though, you guys, just to get down to the nut of it, I know we're talking about the I thing, but we didn't have anyone that we took the permit from that said, oh, I thought I could run down the interstate. Every single one of them knew it.
Yeah.
When JR and Kendrick and Scooby give out the reports, they go over specifically that you can't go down the interstate. I haven't read their paragraph in there. I think it even specifies I-76, does it not? As far as at like 104th? Because that's been the continuing thing, right? I mean, we all know that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, they chose to do that.
Knowingly.
Yes, knowingly broke our law, the state's law, the government law. I mean, every scenario in that, they chose to do that.
I'm glad that they just said that they knew, because there's
Yes.
one thing that I can't stand more than anything is playing dumb.
Yeah.
I did?
Do
Oh,
what?
I didn't realize.
Who?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
thank
the
you.
thing-
Where at?
Thank you for being honest.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good when JR brought those up and had discussions with them. The thing there too, Dave, is we all know and we can talk about it, and that's the reason they're doing it. Is what's the chances of being caught there? Caught in the 2 miles.
Well, scares me to death because every now and then you never know when a motorcycle cop, especially for Adams County Sheriff's Department, sets 3 motorcycle cops right there at 104th, and they grab you and take you right to the flea market or to the state patrol office.
Or
I
they
mean,
set up at the state yard right there on Federal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it can happen.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Yeah,
it's like the insurance company. We've seen it.
Exactly.
We've been there a time or two.
So the little bit of money you're making in case you get caught, is not worth it. But the thing again is, we're asking you guys to hold yourselves accountable, and you said it, for what the law is, for what JFW's rules are, for what we do for safety, for what it looks like for the rest, because that permit is not set up for that.
Yeah.
So why do what the permit's not set up to do?
Right.
Why?
Right. Put your shopping cart away, would you?
Yeah, do the right thing. It's hurtful, especially when it's explained in so much detail when you're given that.
Right.
That's why they shut your truck down when you have an emissions fault.
Yeah, we trusted
Same
you
thing.
when we handed you that permit. First of all, we make you wait 90 days, and then there's a procedure to get it. You have to talk to a safety director, JR, Scooby, whoever. They speak with you and go over the rules. They may even shake your hand. Right? There's an agreement that we are entrusting you to run heavy in certain places and not doing in other places. So what a violation of trust, honestly. I mean, I'm saying thanks for being honest once you got caught,
Yeah.
but you weren't being honest with us when you agreed to use a permit properly. So
And then you love this part too, you guys. And we, maybe it's because we're in leadership, maybe it's the age, the whole thing. But we talk about the high road and the low road, right? and how easy the low road is. We talk about it for years. Dave's I don't know, little announcement, little paper thing. That's high road hauling, right? Okay, we talk about that, and it's tough to be on the high road. Shift gears, pull that hill, but it's easy to get down on the low road. And the thing is well, Joe is doing it. I seen Bob do it. Sam loaded it.
Right.
Chris went down 76. I just went ahead and did it.
Right.
So you enjoy being on the low road? You know, just because somebody else did it?
Yeah, one of the drivers actually told JR, well, that's cool as long as I'm not the only one.
Right?
Like, yeah.
Right?
Like you said.
I mean, I took, let's take it, because I don't know, the whole wife thing and fooling around and all the other thing. It's okay because Bob fooled around with his wife, so that makes it okay for me?
Not if you're married to Lorena Bobbitt.
It's just being accountable and holding
That
yourself
was quick, Jim.
That was
to a higher level.
That's apple cider vinegar.
That's funny,
Ace, if you're listening, I know how you can keep him in line.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't step out of line. I'm scared.
It's a good thing there's a gun under your pillow, not a knife.
I could shoot that off in 20 paces.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, guys, we need as much help as we can get. You guys, we talk about it podcast after podcast, and episode 43 here, and for us to get up and be happy and try to be cheerful, and it is a struggle along with us. You guys, same thing you face, being out there on the roads, trying to take care of your families and pay your bills and do all that kind of stuff, and it's important though, but it's easier if we do it together, if we make the right choices together, and you feel better as a team. And that's what we're asking, is the accountability, is the
Hold each other accountable.
don't haul overweight, and sit back and look what some of your options are. That just how can it be better? How can I do it better? What am I going to do?
Jim, we've talked for 30 years about making our industry better. That's part of our culture. That's part of our equipment. That's part of our leadership team. That's part of the people we're hiring. And every day, I'm going to complain about the fence post. The one time we came out in 6,000 loads, we hit it. But if we don't focus on that sometimes, we will never get better.
Right.
Those drivers that are making those choices are our brethren, right? They're the ones that, could be following too close. They're the ones that could have an accident. They're the ones that made a lane change and didn't care about the car next to them and cut it off, or made it change lanes and swerved into something else, or, those are the things to be better and hold yourself accountable. That's the camera. That was the philosophy behind that. That's just like a safety team member riding with you all day long. It's holding you accountable, right?
Yep.
Well, there's no way we can look at what you're hauling,
Right.
unless we download and print that overweight list, and then we go back and see who's going where and why they're here.
Yep.
And it's all easily done for us, but why should we have to be checking on our people?
Yeah, why are we policing you?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that makes me feel like Walmart. Do you know where
Checking your
Walmart?
receipt.
No, do you know where Walmart has all their cameras, where all their theft happens?
Over the
Back room?
cash registers.
Back room.
No. Over the cash registers of their people. All of their theft happens in-house. The little bit that happens outside is minimal. Where they have the largest amount of theft is from their employees.
Really?
Yeah, so all of their cameras are right above the cash drawers, so you can see what's going on. I mean, every bit of their theft is in-house, not... I shouldn't say every bit. That's misleading to say. Somewhere there's some kid or some person showed up, I don't know, stole a loaf of bread under his jacket and went out, or
I know a
whatever
lot
the
of people
case may
get shot in Walmart.
be, right?
Yeah,
But my point is, they're having to look at their people,
Right.
right?
Yeah, and your whole, your brethren or your brotherhood or stuff like that. I had some people pass me on the highway the other day, and I don't think Ray minds, but anyway, it was some of his brothers that passed me on the motorcycles and cut me off pretty hard, driving like idiots, the whole bit. Had one of the guys had a girl on the back, so he's not only taking his life in his own hands, but his girlfriend or his wife and stuff like that. And I wanted to call Ray so I could have somebody to complain about. Do you know what see what these guys are doing? And
Motorcycle number.
like Ray's gonna know him. I don't know how big his brotherhood is, but like Ray's gonna know him. Yeah. And I was like, I got to mention that to Ray that I was upset, and
I'm sure he'll hear it.
Right? Yeah, he listens. But that's no difference between a bend over Billy bike or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that. It's just how everybody's driving. It's no different than anybody cutting you off in a four-wheeler.
Yeah.
They're taking their lives in hands. But that's, there again, we can go back to our cameras. That's the reason we're asking you not to do that.
And go take the low road and go, oh, that's just another idiot on a motorcycle. Oh, that's a stupid four-wheeler. Oh, that's a dumb truck driver. You know what I mean? That all of those stereotypes, we want to break that. Yeah. We need to break that,
And how do we stand out? By being different.
Better. Absolutely.
Yeah, different and better.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason the State Patrol and Department of Transport, or DOT, sets up portable scales outside of gravel pits. Yeah. There's a reason for that. They're not set up outside the Walmart distribution center. Right?
Yeah, because you know who holds them accountables? The ports at each end of the state.
Right. Exactly.
But there has to be somebody holding them accountable.
Yes.
Because you can't do it yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's a shame.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of Walmart, I know I keep just getting off in the weeds and everything, but if you have a misscan on your self-checkout and they come over to check it out, it actually plays a video back of what you did.
Wow.
Yeah.
When mine won't scan, I just throw it in the cart.
Perfect.
I don't know, because we use the one at Sam's Club where you scan each item as you're shopping, Jam.
Oh, wow.
And it is so nice. Cards already in the phone. You scan the item. You don't even check out. You just finish.
Walk out.
You hit.
Yeah.
Holly hits her phone, and you walk out. And the person at the end
checks the receipt.
Checks one. Doesn't even check the receipt, Jam, because it's on your phone. There's nothing there now, and they pull like 2 items out of the cart and make sure they show up on your phone. And we kind of joked because the girl or the person helping checked like the 2 cheapest items in our basket to make sure we put them in there.
He's got his peanuts and coleslaw.
right. That big screen TV.
I was going to say,
right? What's he feeding, an elephant?
Man, I just like Costco because they scan everything for you, and they put it in boxes, and I'm not used to that.
Think about just scanning it when you drop it in your cart, though, and never having to check out.
Yeah, that's what Sam's
You just
did.
eliminated 50% of the problem.
Oh, man. It is awesome.
Yeah.
So did you just switch to Sam's, or you've had both?
Had both, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, Holly's she is a really thrifty shopper, so some things are cheaper at Sam's than Costco, and then same thing from Walmart to Sam's, which is their upgrade or whatever, Walmart's upgrade store, bulk store.
Yeah, it's funny because we've had Costco since we started a new food program or whatever, and oh my God, now we got to go to 2 grocery stores, sometimes 3 instead of 1.
Yeah, that's the only thing with Holly I've like.
It's like, okay, like we go to Costco and it's like, all right, well, we still need these 3 things from Walmart. Well, Walmart didn't have this one thing. Got to go to Whole Foods, and it drives my wife isn't happy. Yeah, it's like,
yep.
That's pretty commonplace nowadays, though. We do the same thing, but we're always pitting choice and price against each other. So we're stopping at King Soopers, and we're running to Walmart. We're going to Costco.
Man, if they don't have it at 7-Eleven, I'm out.
boom. You must like burritos and chimichangas.
He liked burritos yesterday because he was complaining about
Marlboros and Pepsi.
Nice.
He needed some gut health yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
After his breakfast burrito.
That was a rough morning.
For you or for the people around you?
Really didn't bother me.
Me and my pickup.
That's funny. All right, you guys, anything else? I got a question from the audience if you guys are ready to move on.
Yeah.
The audience?
The audience. So Rick Ray wants to know where the prefix 00 came from. 001, 0069. Where did we get the 00s from?
Good question, Rick. And Senior can probably straighten this out better if I don't massacre it, but he used to be a ham radio operator and had his ham radio license. I mean, he could talk all over the world. You know what I mean? He literally could. We had this massive tower in our yard. He had this great big. It was a beam. It wasn't an antenna. It was a beam, and it had a motor on it, and like the lights in the neighborhood dimmed when he like rotated the tower or the beam up there, you know, and like he had.
But it's
Jim,
true.
remember the Lemaire's house across the street? He had to put a filter on their TV because when he would key up and talk, it would bleed through their TV. And they were all pissed off about it.
Yeah, and you'd be out in the backyard, you know, we'd be playing and stuff, and all of a sudden, this huge antenna.
Yeah.
Is that when you lost your hair?
You're like, is the house moving or is the antenna? Anyway, so one of his call signs was the world famous 000 nothing. So just all zeros, Jim.
Got it.
And I think he just took from that and made the
Yeah,
double
because
O.
it was different. Most of the stuff, I think a lot of the call signs start with a 00. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, so that's where, so it was like a call sign for him, and that's
Cool.
what he did with the truck numbers.
Man, senior's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, some good stuff.
And that's also what he had on his race car all the time too, wasn't it? 00.
00,
his
but
race
he
car
had,
number?
I think he had
50.
01 on that one or something. There is a couple pictures, but 58 was Uncle Paul, right?
And
No,
Dad
40,
was
48.
Yeah, 48.
Was Uncle
Dad
Paul.
was 51, 56?
Yeah, I think so.
I
I don't
should
know,
know
Super
that.
Dave. But there is a picture of a car someplace with 01 on it. I remember one of the race guys.
Well, yeah, on the Dukes of Hazzard.
I never looked at the car.
There was a car on that show? I just thought there was a girl.
I thought there was just flowers, Daisy,
Yeah.
and Duke.
Man. I think we all need some lemon juice and what, cayenne pepper? What are you mixing?
Apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and cayenne pepper. Yeah. And the apple cider vinegar's quote unquote from the mother, if you know what that is.
Nope.
Well, if you ever look at apple cider vinegar, if it'll say from the mother on it, that's got the chunks in it and everything like that, instead of like filtered and stuff. And then we actually use fresh squeezed lemon juice every morning.
Wow.
And then a pinch of cayenne pepper. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Could be. I don't make it. I just drink it.
But the thing is, Dave, isn't anything good or better a lot of work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
I mean,
for sure.
are you trying to feel better, Jam? For
I feel
what reason?
Because I want to live till 90. No, I'm
Right?
just
You got to
kidding.
take care of your family. You want to feel better.
I want to be
you wanna
strong. I want to be healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For the family, for the
Yep.
people here,
Yep.
for everything, right?
Yeah, for myself.
And is it hard?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just heard they didn't give the details of the survey, but they were talking about it on the radio yesterday when I was listening to it. But they were talking about how many years of your life are you willing to give up in order to keep eating fast food?
Right.
So what's a trade-off, you know? And the one woman DJ on the channel I was listening to, she's like, well, that's easy. I'd give up a year. If I could eat fast food the rest of my life, I would do the minimum and give up 1 year of my life. That way I could eat fast food the rest of my life and I'm only losing 1 year, right? I think the average person in the study was like they would be willing to give up 4 or 5 years of their life to continue to and the girl DJ, she's like, that's so stupid. Why would you give up any more than you had to, right? But then it got to the part where I was wowed by, and they went to like North Dakota, and those people were like, oh, we'd give up 10 years easy.
Because they got a hard life. They're farming and working their ass off.
And then they were
below
joking
every
like,
winter.
they must eat fast food for breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything. And yet I view those as more rural places where fast food would be harder to get is what I visualize, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah,
here,
but they're working hard. They want a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
so
never
they were
looked
like,
at it.
knock 10 years off. I'm good.
I never looked at it like that. But you guys are right. I mean, anything good, you got to fight for it. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
man.
Like,
Yeah.
waking up as early as we wake up, that's not easy, right? You know, we talk about the apple cider vinegar or going to the gym. Going to the gym for me every day, that's not easy. And not every day, but it would be nice. But it's so not easy. I can't get there every day. You know, the food program I'm on, it's getting hard, but it's not easier. It's better. You know
But how
what
do
I
you
mean?
feel, Jam?
I feel great. I feel great, and I feel productive and accomplished, and
Right,
it's just been good for my mental health, and my physical health, and I'm sleeping better.
No.
You know,
But at some point, Jam,
Nice.
you're gonna slip. And I'm not saying you're gonna slip on
Friday.
purpose, because it's gonna be just a little bit easier. It's the same thing with all of us with weight.
Right.
Or it is for myself. I shouldn't say everybody. With weight, it's easy to eat like shit, and it's good.
Yeah, so I am gonna slip on purpose, right? I'm slipping on purpose Friday night. I'm having pizza, and then Saturday I'm gonna slip and have some baby back ribs, but it's a planned slip. And then we've been doing it for 5 weeks. I'm not gonna eat like shit all weekend and just blow everything, but it's time to refuel a little bit. And
The pizza I get, right? Like pizza is not healthy for people. It's just not, right?
so good.
How bad are baby back ribs? I'm sure the barbecue sauce or whatnot, but how bad are they? They when you say like you're having a cheat day and you listed pizza and baby back ribs,
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute. Pizza, Whopper, Big Mac, yada yada yada.
Right. Yeah.
Ribs fall in the this isn't all that bad
got some fat
category
and protein,
for
leave
me.
the
For me,
barbecue
so I'm
sauce
like,
off.
wait a minute, are we talking like pizza, Big Mac, Whopper, ribs? Wait
So-
a minute, that's
so-
not the same category for
So
me.
ribs, I would say, is probably not as good as the ground turkey I've been eating, or
Right,
the
okay.
friggin' fish, or
Okay, all
you know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're gonna indulge a little bit. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
okay.
I'm gonna have a bourbon and some diet root beer, or yeah. So to me, like there can be pleasure. Hard work. It's just like you work hard, then you go on vacation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So same
You
thing.
enjoy it that much more.
And I'll be interested too, Jam, because when I've been on a stricter diet or stricter way of life like you've been, when I do have that piece of pizza, and then sometimes you have 2 pieces of pizza, how bad you really feel.
Right.
It was like that just did not taste or make me feel like I wanted to,
Right. Yeah.
because I am so clean at this point that
Right.
it's just like, damn, I should have just stayed on it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to experience that. I was happy to have oatmeal this morning. So, yeah, I'm not going to have 10 slices, but I'll probably going to have 3 slices of pizza.
Sure.
Where's the pizza from? What kind of pizza are we
I don't know, probably just go to Anthony's, or
Oh.
I don't know. I'm taking recommendations,
Traeger one, smoke one.
smoke one.
It's a lot. It's a little bit of work, but going and getting your own dough jam,
You
and
go right on the grill, or you have the ceramic plate?
do have the ceramic plate,
Yeah.
is all. And
I don't have
Walmart,
that.
Walmart, easy, cheap, quick. Put it
Or
on
just
there.
borrow his?
Yeah, borrow mine. I'll bring it in tomorrow.
Sweet.
Perfect.
Sold. Let me ask the wife. Yeah.
They're just fun. They're fun to roll out your own dough, and then
Honestly, Jim,
cheese sticks pulled apart,
Yep.
rolled in the dough.
You lost me. Friday night, I'm not rolling dough. I'm not smoking anything.
You're just going to have some pizza.
go
Go to
home.
Anthony's.
I'm going to go sit down and let somebody bring me the damn pizza.
Hey,
yeah.
hey, what did we just talk about? Hard work makes it better. That
Yep.
pizza is going to be some hard work.
Yep.
It'll be better than Anthony's.
I'll roll some dough on Saturday. I'm not rolling dough on Friday. But Friday night when I get home, there ain't a lot happening. But it's pretty cool. My wife is meeting her birth brother for the first time Friday.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
so
big day
pretty,
for her.
Pretty exciting. We're flying him in from California, and he's going to spend a weekend from us. By the way, I'm taking Monday off because his flight doesn't leave until Monday afternoon. I'm going to take him to the range. So, yeah, we're excited to show him a
Nice.
good time.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So you don't know the guy and you're having him shoot standing next to you?
I do that all the time. Anybody I've ever taught to shoot guns, I never knew.
Like at least like 8 to 10 strangers, right? Or 5 to 10 strangers,
Yeah,
right?
there's been a few that made me nervous. My wife was one of them. I married her. So
Good
we
stuff.
got safety topics.
I would have to mention the overweight permits.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
If that's where you're hauling them, how do you get stopped? At the speeds on the interstate, all that kind of stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. Hard on the truck. Our trucks were never designed for that, but we try to use that to help you guys out, help us as a company, and help the customer out. They're supposed to be for good, and when we abuse them, that's a safety topic.
Yeah.
Talk about the cameras and following too close and the cell phones. I mean, I feel, Jam, like we covered a lot of safety topics already in the
Absolutely.
podcast.
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree.
I can just capitalize on like everything you said, Jim, because I just remember. I mean, we've been doing this so long. Like when I first started driving, like we were taught to put on 100,000 pounds and go down the interstate.
I get it,
right?
man.
I mean, we were so illegal. A permit didn't even exist, right? You know, and you were taught to go around those bumps. You were educated when a light was going to change. You were aware of all of these. You drove different because you were so heavy. You had to. You were taught how to drive like that, right? And we don't go over that. We're like, here's a permit. You can't go down the interstate. You know, we don't do any special education. You know, now luckily we are maxed out at 92,000, you know, which is well over 30 tons on every one of our trucks because they're so flippin' light, which, you know, we've chosen that number because of the integrity of the vehicle, right? It can't, that truck and trailer is not capable of hauling more than that. It is physically maxed out at those numbers, you know, and how many times over the years have we seen, you know, an end dump bust in two, something tip over coming down the canyon? Do you think those drivers were trained and educated on that? I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, the big one that as you're talking, I'm thinking about, because everybody knows about it, and was it Highway 66? I don't know. Up north, the excavator that hit the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just recently.
Just
yeah.
recently, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
Yeah.
killed the mom
And-
with their 10-year-old in the car.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, all because you didn't know the height of the equipment you were hauling.
Right.
And you know, I'm just going to try to use my expertise or what I seen, because I never seen the truck in any of the pictures and I didn't dig that much, but they showed the excavator several times laying on the highway. And you guys, from what I know, is that excavator was rubber tracked and it had a dozer blade on the front of it. Those are usually really small pieces of equipment.
Right.
They're not I'm going old school numbers. They're not a PC 400 excavator. They're not the one Scooby just moved over that we used with the brake on. If they got a blade on the front of them, they're a little bigger than our
Mini
skids.
X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mini X, bigger than our you know, I don't know, backhoe
Yeah.
as such. And whatever that was on to hit that bridge had to be so high and so abusive, and that's the reason we're training you guys. That's the reason we're trying to do this. And even if, you know, I've said it for years, even if you leave or when you do leave, and I hope none of you leave, we've made you more successful to go to your next job, to your next career. It doesn't even have to be trucking. If you've learned to hold yourselves accountable here, you will hold yourselves accountable in other places, in your marriages, with your kids, with your friends.
Yep. You live the creed here, you'll live it at home.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah, that's not something you turn on and off.
no.
You know, so to me, the people that are engaged here, they're engaged everywhere.
Right.
The way somebody does one thing is the way they do everything. If they're taking
Absolutely.
shortcuts here, they're taking shortcuts at Costco.
Yep.
Not putting that cart back.
They're taking shortcut on their taxes. They're taking shortcut on checking the oil in their car. They're
Yep.
taking shortcuts on everything they do.
They're not squatting deep enough.
Yeah, I was shopping the other day with Holly doing some clothes shopping and stuff, and there was like this shirt or something on the ground. You know, 2 or 3 people just walked on it or walked over and stepped over it, and I was like, just because of what we talk about and how we act, I had to pick it up and hang it up. You know, it was like somebody's calling me, you have to do this. And I'm like, shit, I got to pick that up.
Yeah, I thought of you this weekend. I was going to call you and bitch at you, and I'm like, well, that won't do any good. But I was at Lowe's right there by our house and pushed the shopping cart out, and it wasn't one of the like King Super shopping carts. It was one of the flatbeds or whatever, right? And it's not the flatbed that stacks with the other flatbeds. It's the
Awkward.
non-
the awkward,
The rack one?
yeah, where
The
you
three rack one?
There's
Yeah.
no pushing them together, right? They touch, but they're not connected.
Yeah.
When you stage them to be put away in the little cart retainer thing. Anyway, I gathered the stuff, I put it in the back of the car, and I turned around and I start pushing the cart over, and I'm watching this dude like try and finagle his cart so it doesn't roll away because the little cart barn is full and it's on a little bit of a slope, and he keeps putting it, and it just like turns, and pretty soon he just walked away and he had it like half-assed in there, and I'm like, I gotta push this like 3 rows over to put it away because of Jim. Because there's no room in this car. But I'm like, I turn around and I look, and Janet and Sam, I never unlocked the car, so they couldn't get in the car. And I'm like, through the parking lot, I like wheel over 2 rows, because that one was all empty.
Right?
Right?
Right,
That's the
yeah.
furthest one from the front doors, right? And I'm just like, I could kill Jim right now, man. But he got me like 75 more steps.
I still have some work to do. The other day I was walking through my kitchen and I saw a napkin on the floor. And I was like, I bet my kid dropped that. Bella, get in here and pick that up.
Oh, that's funny.
I should have done that to Holly. Holly, did you
Is
you
that
drop
your
that?
name?
Pick that up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So-
What was the other thing on the weight, Jim? You were talking about the weight, and you said something else.
Well, following too close cameras, I was just going over that stuff. Is
Yeah,
that what you meant on the? Because
yeah.
you were going to capitalize on it. Everything.
There's just you
Looking out the
just
back window.
Can't talk enough about all of this stuff.
No.
You know, it's just never ending. But if it's not in your ear and making you think about it, how will we be better?
Right.
Yeah, and I thought when you mentioned, the weights going around the bumps and stuff, and I thought, God, how many springs did me and you replace, Dave? How many racks of springs
Right.
did we unbolt and
Right.
U-bolts and pound the stuff out and press the stuff in, walking
Yeah.
beam bushings? And we were really critical about going around the stuff because we had to fix it.
Right. Yeah.
We've got, and that's part of the reason why we're so on you guys about going in and out of the driveways and doing that stuff, because at some point it just wrecks the truck.
Oh, it's terrible.
Breaks the springs. It just tears
Have
stuff
I?
up.
You guys all know I was a chaperone, right, for the swim meet in Clovis,
yeah.
California, 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago now, as fast as time flies. Hey, did I give you guys the speed bump story? Right.
No.
So every pool we go to, there's 2 different locations, right? Well, we wound up 3 different locations, but these are all pools at a high school out there, for Clovis High School. I mean, each campus we went to, it's a campus. It's like a college campus, but they're high schools. I mean, they have these outdoor facilities that are just beyond words, every one. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? Well, through the parking lot, there's multiple speed bumps, right? Well, everybody wants to hang out in my van because it's the coolest, right? Number one, just because I'm the cool dude.
I heard
right?
it was the music you let them listen to.
Right? It was. It was. Right on, James. I know you're not listening, but good music. So anyway, the other vans would be following me. And we would get to a speed bump, and I would virtually stop and just ease over the speed bump. And by the end of the trip, kids were asking me, why do you slow up for the speed bumps? And I'm like, well, because they're bumps. You go slow over bumps. And I'm like, why do you ask? Well, all the other drivers are just saying it kills them. They just go fast over them. And I'm like, I've had to spend my entire life fixing shit from going over bumps and hitting them so fast. The one swim mom, she's like, why do you stop at those speed bumps? And I said, because I have to repair all the things that are broken from going too fast over speed bumps. She goes, oh, I just hit them. I just blast right over them. You don't even feel them. No, but your car does. Your shock absorbers don't like them.
Yeah.
Your kingpins don't like them. Your suspension doesn't like them. Your spring bushings don't like them.
Your tires don't like it.
Absolutely, but that's the thought process of,
Because the thing
like,
is why do you not, Dave?
right.
Stop at the speed
Right.
bump.
Oh man, the kids that were riding with me, they're like, thank you for slowing down, because when you're in the back of the van,
It's a slingshot.
it is it's like rough, right? Because you're on the back side of that rear axle. It is just amplified. It is horrible. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, it's the same thing as what we do. It translates to every part of our lives. So anyway, slow down over those bumps. Go around them, especially if you have a heavy permit.
Yeah.
Pay attention to those lights. You're 92,000 pounds and you have to stop at that light at 112th or 120th or Bromley or 6 or 8 or any of those intersections. You guys have to be looking so far ahead and realize what you're doing.
Agreed. Soup, I know you got to get going here.
I do. I do. So I've got a High Road Holland. It's a little bit off the norm, but I think
Is
it's
it low road, Olin?
no, not at all.
Not that far into the north.
The high road doesn't go down low.
I bet we'll be all right then.
But it is something that might ring true for folks, and just about everybody has been in this situation. We're all guilty, but it's something that's a valuable life lesson, and let's go for it. So this week's High Road Holland is how to ask for help. On a recent weekend, we watched our 5-year-old grandson and his 3-year-old brother We picked the 5-year-old up from school, and even before saying hello, he asked Grandma if she could open his water bottle. The lid is too tight. She asked if he had had any water all day, and he shook his head no, and he took a long swig. Although it might seem obvious to you, as it did to me, that he simply should have asked for help, doing so can be much harder than it seems on the surface. That's true for adults, too. Asking for help can feel so uncomfortable that we would often rather suffer in silence or try to do everything ourselves. Many people have a strong independent streak and are often reluctant to ask for help. They impart a stoic disposition in which vulnerability and dependence on others are to be avoided. And yet the ability to ask for and obtain help is a valuable life skill. Over time, carrying a heavy load without enough support can lead to burnout, exhaustion, and disengagement that results from the chronic stress of having too many demands and not enough resource. A lack of perceived social support has been associated with poor mental health, physical condition, and research suggests that everyday acts of benevolence, which means the will to help others, can increase the well-being of both the recipient and the helper. The help you need at any given time might range from something relatively minor like covering a work shift or getting a ride somewhere or a word of advice, or something more like help with the care of a child or financial assistance or support for a medical or mental health issue. No matter what the challenge is, recruiting help from others can save us time, effort, and provide much needed emotional support. So what to do? If you avoid requesting help, it's important to look at any beliefs you might have that are getting in your way. These could include negative associations. You might associate help seeking with a negative view of taking a handout, or think that someone is lazy if they can't do it themselves. Self-criticism. You could be your own worst critic and think that asking for help means you're incapable or weak. Concerns about how you will be perceived. You might worry that someone will think less favorably of you if you ask for help, or they might think you're stupid. Self-sacrificing. You might buy into a self-sacrificing narrative, believing that you should put the needs of others before your own. You might worry that burdening someone with your needs is an issue. Overestimating the likelihood of rejection. No one is going to want to help me out. Why would they, right? So even though these types of thoughts and beliefs about asking for help are quite common, they are often inaccurate. People are likely much more willing to help than you realize. Research suggests that we tend to underestimate the likelihood of someone saying yes to a request for help. Most people feel good when they do helpful things for others and prefer to think of themselves as generous and willing to help when they can. If you fear that someone will like you less if you ask them for help, consider the opposite possibility. Maybe people will actually like you more because they've done you a favor. Expressing vulnerability and openness by acknowledging that you can use help can lead to deeper connections. When people help you, they may develop a vested interest in the outcome and in you. So when you catch your mind kicking in with unhelpful reasons not to ask for help, step back from your thoughts and see them for what they are, your mind's incessant chatter. So remind yourself that your thoughts aren't always accurate and you don't always have to listen to them. Instead, you can let these self-critical thoughts and worries come and go without letting them run the show. Make a decision to ask for help. There might be some pros and cons, but the long-term benefits often outweigh any short-term costs. And the quote this week, and I love this quote, by John C. Maxwell, who is a motivational writer and speaker. When your dream is bigger than you are, you only have two choices: give up or get help.
Ah,
Like it.
yeah, that was a good one, Dave.
Absolutely.
Any other final thoughts before you go, Soup?
Nope, not really. When you're struggling, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Love it.
It's human nature to help someone that asks for help.
It is, and I think it's kind of human nature to kind of think I can do it.
Yeah.
and not want to ask for help.
Yeah.
Kind of like the male thing about asking for directions. I know where I'm going, but
that's
bullshit.
But that, it feels like I'm arguing with you, Dave, but that's accomplishing something. And I think there's a difference between I need some help here and accomplishing something. And I think that's a little bit of the difference, where I guess, I don't know, I'm taking it to an extreme. I have a drug addiction. I need help. Can you help me? Or something like that. That's different than struggling through to find a location. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difficult.
You can accomplish both. And isn't it a great feeling when you have help and you accomplish it together? And you're
Yeah.
like, we did this right on.
Yeah.
Certain things you need to persevere and figure out on your own, but certain things you got to have help. Like there's projects here at JFW, if I didn't have help, I'd be in trouble.
Exactly.
But if I hit you three up every time I needed to figure something out, you guys would be like, wow, James pretty codependent on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my exact point, you guys. And I guess that's what, from your deal, Dave, is it's the serious thing. When you need help, you need to ask for help. Don't be afraid of that.
You need to realize it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I need some help here.
Yeah, but I can figure this out, so I'm not, a burden on somebody else, or accomplishing that makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It does. Yeah. See, there's two sides to the coin, and either side is good, right? Because when you accomplish something that you set out to do and you achieve it, you're like, I did it. Yeah. But then when you ask for help and you get it, and then you achieve the goal together, that's a good feeling too.
Yeah.
But I think the point of this is you need to realize when you need help. So don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah. I mean, are we doing final thoughts? That's where we're at here.
Sure.
So I wrote that down, how to ask for help. And we just discussed, asking for help, Super Dave, that's what we're doing, Dave, and all of us and you guys and dispatch is we're asking for help. We realize we need help. We're asking for help, but it's the response we get. Dave, you just said you thought it was human nature. We have some things around here that the low road takes over. It's not helpful.
Yeah.
It's not. And we've asked. We asked for help going around the bump. We asked for help of, not using the overweight permit on the interstate. We asked for help not to use your cell phones. We asked for help to look out the back window. We asked for help if we can't put you on your hardwire. We're asking. We've asked. And the response we're getting is not what you just read, Dave. It's not helpful. And I think, my final thoughts that I wrote down is that's all my vision is today. Like you said, in the one line there, that you have to realize what your thoughts are and what you're struggling with, that you feel like you can't ask for help, right, Dave? But all I'm seeing is the bad out there, and it's like only Wednesday in the week. I'm frustrated with, the hard wires and the driving in and out of the driveways and complaining about this and that, and we can't get parts, and we've missed a load here, and it's just, we've ran into gate posts, but I can't see that we've went around the gate post. I can't see that we didn't get these parts, but we did get these parts. I tried to think of something, and I have good things for the week that have happened, but one of the things is Thomas Morgan brought his daughter up Tuesday night, and she thanked me for the birthday gift that she got. She's 7, I think he said.
Cute.
Oh, she was gorgeous. She was a doll. Yeah. She was shy and had a smile and was drinking, I think, a Gatorade, and her mouth and lips were all red from the Gatorade, and just the life of the kids, and just for Thomas to bring her up and ask her to do that, what a great dad and a great daughter, and it's not just the thank you's not for us. That thank you is for everybody here. Makes that possible. And when we ask you for help to go around that bump, not break that damn thing on your truck, that brought a birthday gift and a smile to a little girl's face.
Right.
Realize that. Think about we harped on that. Think about that big pizza, that big pie. that little girl got that smile and that gift because of our big pizza. And we're asking for help to see that. That would be my thought.
Yeah.
BD?
I mean, I covered them, Jam, as far as the reiteration on the overweight permit and the looking out the back window and just all of the things that to be better at your craft. It's a pleasure to see someone good at their craft.
Yeah, and I just have to say, sorry, Dave, if I'm interrupting
No,
you,
you're
man.
good.
Better at your craft and looking out the back window. We were by a couple trucks yesterday over at the West Yard, and needed a shovel for something. And I thought, I'll grab one off the truck, and the truck didn't have a shovel on it. And I think the broom was broken too.
Yeah,
Wow.
broken in half.
And I was just like, wow, what does this person do if he has to clean out or do anything? I don't know. I was like kind of blown away, and that's being better at your craft. We're asking for help to realize that you can't be better at your craft if you don't have your tools. And
Right.
we try to supply all that. So there's just something that popped into my head, Dave, that can't be good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my final thought this week is I challenge and encourage you, if you're getting alerts on Samsara, JR sending you stuff, I challenge you to be better. I challenge you to improve. I also challenge everybody to pick an item on the creed this week that you feel like you could work on. Take that home with you as well. And have a great week. Appreciate everybody listening. Oh, we got to hit the creed.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do that, huh?
Yeah.
We're able to do that. Maybe it'll sound better this week. Start it off?
Sure.
Together we face and overcome all that stands before us. Together we are accident-free. Together we joyfully create honest value for those we serve. Together we celebrate our differences and respect those with whom we work. Together we are accountable for our words and our actions. Together we are the JFW family.
All right.
Yeah, way to go. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
See you
Be
guys
safe.
next time.
Enjoy.